Hello, everyone. Welcome to SceneDaily.com. I'm Steve Waid.
And I'm Kris Johnson.
I can tell you what, radio communication, Kris, is huge in NASCAR.
Huge.
Oh, we know that. Between the crew chief and the driver, and the owner and the driver, and the owner and the crew chief, and all three of them at once.
Yes.
And the good thing about it is that with scanners, fans can get involved in the action. You don't see that in any other professional sport.
It's a wonderful thing, and it helps differentiate NASCAR from other pro sports, and I think it's an invaluable part of the fan experience.
Well, like, let's talk football. In the NFL, you can sit in the stands, but you cannot hear the conversations between the coaches and the players, and even the quarterback has the radio in his helmet now.
Right.
And none of that is available to the fans. So it is a good thing. But you know what? It adds a real character to the sport because fans get such an insight into what goes on and the types of situations drivers, owners, and crew chiefs are in and how they respond to that.
No question. We had a good example of that this past weekend at Martinsville with Kurt Busch and Roger Penske and even Pat Trayson at the end of that little exchange. We're going to run this in Scene this week in the April 2nd issue in Scanner Chatter, and it's just fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Listen to this. First of all, here's Roger Penske, and he says, all we hear is a bunch of stuff on the radio. Let's get serious out there, okay? You understand? And he's talking to Kurt Busch. And Busch responds, 10-4, dude. 10-4. He calls Roger Penske, dude.
But that's great.
And then Penske comes back and says, okay, I'm the car owner. You listen to me, okay? And then Busch says, yeah, this is great. And Penske says, just tell me right now if you don't want to drive it. Man, what an exchange, and what an insight that gives to the fans.
And the wonderful thing about this is you're seeing people in the heat of competition be themselves as they truly are. For better or worse, it's a wonderful thing. It's real. In a time when so many people complain about vanilla this, vanilla that, COT, cookie-cutter tracks, you're getting real human emotion, and it's a great thing for fans.
And it's been going on for some time, and you're talking about real human emotion. Let me tell you something. Things can get very heated and very unusual on the radios. I'll give you an example. It was at Martinsville, I believe, that a driver was on the radio, of course, to his crew chief and his owner, and the race had just started, and he got bumped pretty hard and almost spun out. And on the radio, he says, did you see what that bleep did to me, that bleeping so, bleeping this and bleeping that? Well, what he didn't know was, after all these bleeps, his entire radio conversation with his team was being piped in to his sponsor's suite.
Can we mention the driver?
We better not.
Okay, let's not.
They heard every word of it. And, of course, the owner came back on and said, hey, so-and-so, this stuff is going into our sponsor's suite. Let's cool it down a little bit. But still, I think the folks in the suite probably got a kick out of it.
There's a lot of people out there, and most of them probably come in the sponsor realm, that worry about this type of communication being public. But when it's in the public domain, I mean, if you're a fan and you're paying for the privilege of listening to these things,
you have to pay for it.
You're entitled to that.
Sure.
You're entitled to that. You're entitled to get what's real.
And some fans have complained about the language they hear and so forth and that. We've got letters to Scene about that. But, hey, give it up. You know, these guys are in the heat of competition. They're human beings just like me. Maybe not Kris, but just like me. and they have emotions. And when they spill out, they're going to happen. So, you know, just if you're on a scanner, expect to hear just about anything, right?
Absolutely. And if it bothers you, turn it off.
Turn it off. That's all you got to do. So that's our take on it right now. Thanks for being with us here at SceneDaily.com. I'm Steve Waid. Say goodbye, Kris.
Goodbye, Kris.
I call the home. You go Friday.